Betsy is coming over, and so I am making a spicy sister supper, and one of the stars of the menu is baked pepper mac and cheese. It's creamy, it's spicy, it is so cheesy, very worthy of the Smith sisters, who are renowned cheese lovers, by the way. Now, I'm starting with the sauce for the mac and cheese, and I just heated some milk in the pan, and I'm gonna grab some softened cream cheese. So instead of making a white sauce with butter and flour, I am kind of taking this shortcut with milk and cream cheese instead of making a white sauce. It's just a little bit of a time saver, and of course, cream cheese is wonderful and creamy and marvelous. Don't tell Betsy I took a shortcut. While the cream cheese is softening, I'll sprinkle in just a little bit of seasoned salt, which I love adding to any mac and cheese. Instead of just regular salt, it always adds just a little underlying flavor that's really, really nice. And I sprinkled in some pepper, so I'll stir it until the cream cheese is totally melted. I love little dinners like this where it's just Betsy and me. You can just have fun with the menu. I'm not making a huge quantity of anything, and I can really bring the spice because Betsy loves spicy food. I love spicy food. Believe it or not, for all his rugged agricultural prowess, Lad doesn't like spicy food as much as I do. Sometimes I make food that I think is mildly spicy for me, and I'll look over at him and his brow will be sweating, smoke will be coming out of his ears. All right, as you can see, the white sauce, quote unquote, is ready. So now I'm gonna add the cheeses, and I'm adding 3 of them just to drive that cheesy point home. White cheddar, pepper jack, of course, and Gouda, which is just a little bit unusual, but usually when I make mac and cheese, I don't really plan ahead of time what cheeses I'm going to add. I just kind of open my cheese drawer. Invariably, I will have approximately 1,700, small packages of cheese or little end pieces here and there. I do love this combination. White cheddar kind of brings that sharpness. The pepper jack brings a little more spice, and the Gouda is just that wonderful creamy texture. Okay, the cheese almost instantly melted because that milk was so hot. Now I will add the pasta, and it's just campanelle or campanelli. You can use any short pasta. Obviously macaroni is the #1 choice, but since this is a sister supper, I wanted to kind of use a frilly, fun shape. There are so many pasta shapes in the world. I could use one every day for a year and not use them all. I might try that sometime, actually. That would be really fun. All right, so stirred the pasta into the sauce, and the pasta is just under al dente because this is gonna bake in the oven, and you wanna give the pasta just a little bit of room to absorb some of the liquid. So now I'll add herbs. I have some torn basil, some oregano, and parsley. And just for fun and for color, a jar of drained pimentos. It's a good thing Paige Drummond isn't here. I don't know what she has against pimentos, but Betsy and I grew up in the 1970s when pimentos reigned supreme, so she will definitely appreciate them. Stir everything together. Oh my gosh, this is looking so saucy and marvelous. 2 words I would use to describe my little sister. All right, I have a buttered baking dish, and it's a small dish. As you can see, I'm not making a huge amount. So I'll pour it in. Now I'll push this so that it's just in an even layer. Now, you're probably wondering where the peppers come in, because this is a baked pepper pasta. So I'm gonna make a little breadcrumb topping. I have a bowl of seasoned panko crumbs, and I have some melted butter. Actually let it get a little brown, not intentionally, but I think that's going to work out to my favor. And I will stir the crumbs just to get them all coated in this kind of brown butter. I'm gonna call this unintentional brown butter panko topping. Once you have the panko crumbs all coated, then the peppers go in. I have little mini peppers, the kind that come in a bag, and poblano peppers. I just sliced everything thin, took out most of the seeds and membranes, and then jalapenos. Left a little bit of the seeds and membranes in there because that's where the spice comes from. And it's really nice because the mac and cheese itself is not overly spicy, but then it has this kind of peppery topping, and you get a little bite of the jalapeno, and ooh, it's so nice. It's really gonna become kind of peppers coated in these crumbs. There won't be too many crumbs just by themselves once you toss it all together. Now, before I add the pepper panko topping, I'm gonna add more cheese to the top. So this will kind of bake on top of the mac and cheese and just have another layer of cheesiness. This is a mix of pepper jack and white cheddar. And now come the peppers. Give it one more stir to make sure those crumbs are coating the peppers. Oh, they're coating my cutting board too. All right, I'll just kind of spill them all onto the top and just kind of spread them out. So this is ready for the oven, but I'm gonna wait for now and I'll bake it later with the pork I'm gonna serve Betsy. So stay tuned. This spicy sister supper is gonna keep getting better and better. Pepper mac and cheese. Here, hold your plate. Oh,
That looks
I gotta
so
go in.
good. Yep.
Mac and cheese
and
is always a
cheese.
good idea.
Oh, yes.
Oh, oh, oh.